Hello, Canucks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Canucks Conversation, delivered to you by the great folks at DoorDash.
Ding dong.
Use promo code CONVODD, capital C, capital D's, all one word, CONVODD. That will get you 25% off and free delivery on your first order with the DoorDash app. It does not get much better than that, folks. My name's Dave Quadrelli. My camera's not working right now. I'm going to figure that out. I'm joined, as always, by the man who built the place, Chris Faber.
Looks good.
Yeah. And our technical producer is Alex Allard, who I'm sure is having some trouble with me right now because I caused this camera problem myself. It's not Alex's fault. It's because I'm running way too much for my MacBook Air to handle right now. So on the live show, you got a nice little look at the last thing the camera saw as I'm dialed in trying to get this Scenes from Morning Skate article out. We were at Morning Skate, both of us. I was a little bit late. This is the Canucks Conversation podcast, and I had a good time at Morning Skate. You know, I don't get out to these a lot. I went to all of them last year. Like you were in school, you weren't a full-time employee. Now, as you'd like to say, you go to all the morning skates. I don't have to come out here as much as I used to. It's great. I come just for the show, show up, leave. It's great.
Yeah, the whip that you swing is being cracked on your own back when you show up to practice. I know that every time you show up to practice, you're always like, oh, there's so many people here. It's a full day of media, but no. It's just because when you show up, it doesn't make it a full media. There was a decent amount of people there actually today as well, though. But interesting little morning skate for sure.
I have no idea why my camera's not working. I'm
good.
scared to disconnect though. Like I don't want to screw it up. I'll probably do it when you're doing your.
Honestly, it really doesn't matter because the audio is coming from my computer, so you can do whatever you want. You can close that.
I still gotta get this Scenes from Morning Skate article out. I'm not even done yet.
All right. Well, this is a podcast. This is also a live show as well, so maybe the article can wait.
No, well, I don't know. The article can't wait. I finished it too. I literally had it. I was putting the finishing touches on it as we were getting ready to go here, and I finally got it out. It was a long process though, because you got to listen to the audio. You got to make sure you quote everybody correctly. And hey, I'll tell you what, I had a good time at Skate Day, and it's in our third topic here. The Canucks in the community. It's kind of listed at the bottom there for those on the live show. Yep. Alex, quit cutting to my camera. That's not working, man. Frozen picture of me. Just, awful. See, that is Alex's fault. That part's Alex's fault, not the frozen camera. Just
pull it up, Alex. There it is.
No. Okay.
Okay. I'm in a good mood too. I had a great night last night watching the Abbotsford Canucks. I had a lot of fun watching the Canucks again, and it was great. Abbotsford was great. We'll get to that in a little bit here. But we do want to start with some of the things that we saw at practice, some of the things we heard. The Canucks, they got back-to-back games starting tomorrow against Seattle. Then they play against Edmonton as well before we head into that Christmas break. Still a couple of games. Heard some players talking about getting back to 500. We'll see how that goes with these back-to-backs. Tell you what, Seattle's not a slow team. They're a pretty quick team, and they've been playing some really good hockey so far this season. So it'll be interesting to see how the Canucks look when they match up against the Kraken tomorrow night. A home game. We've seen a couple of real bad home games in a row for the Canucks. So obviously tomorrow's a big man. Like I tell you what, breaks are interesting in the season, right? You don't get a lot of them, but if the Canucks roll into this little Christmas break here on, a pair of losses, it's going to be very dark times through Christmas here. No bright lights will be shining. That's for sure.
I got my camera working.
Oh, good for you.
Yep. Pull it up, Alex. Pull it up. Got the camera working. Feeling really good about it. I'm just hoping someone got a screenshot of that.
I hope Alex did.
Yeah, he'll put it behind you on the green screen.
Yeah, that's going to come very soon, actually.
I'm always watching. Let's
talk about it. No Pettersson at practice again today. I think that's the biggest thing we can take away from the morning skate. Still, that's tough. Like, he's battling an illness, obviously. That's what we talked about. It's not COVID. It's probably that one that we've been chatting about on the show about this cold that's been going around. I was a little worried because I feel like every time I fly, I get sick after. I haven't been feeling too bad actually over the past couple of days, so that's good. But again, I was in Saskatoon, so I feel like I had a cold there no matter what. Actually, you know what? I've been struggling. I've been getting the nosebleeds for the last couple of days here, and I think it's from just like how cold it was outside of Saskatchewan, and then coming back here where it's cold, but it's not as cold as it is there. It's minus 40 over there. I've had nosebleeds the last couple of nights. I was up till about like 3 a.m. last night with a damn nosebleed. And it's like, I was like, fine. I think it was okay, but I didn't want to go to bed and like go on the pillow and then my nose starts bleeding again, wake up in a pool of blood, think I died. So I didn't want that. So I had to, at least go like an hour without anything. So yeah, hopefully that'd be wild if it happened on the show today too. Live nosebleed on the show.
I used to get nosebleeds when I was in high school.
What do they call it when you get your nose cauterized? I think that's what they call it. Some people that, like, if you're a kid and you have a lot of nosebleeds, I think you get this done.
People have kind of picked up on the fact.
Boxers all get it done, I think.
People have kind of picked up on the fact that neither of us are like exceptionally smart,
right,
or anything, right? Like, not to toot my own horn, but I like to think of myself as the smart one when it's not math. Neither of us are that smart, though.
Well, I don't know if you're the smart one, actually, out of both of us. I've got more life experience.
That's true.
You know more words, which makes you sound smarter.
But you just threw one at me that I didn't know. Cauterized? I've never heard of that.
And that might be wrong. That might be when you cut the nuts off of a bull. That might be what that is. But I'm not sure. Either way, there is a word for it.
We got some smart listeners, at least.
Oh, our listeners are smarter than us. Yeah, that's for sure.
It's like you being like, 0 sugar in this energy drink. It's healthy. And
well, that's what everyone's saying. So look, I'm back on the sugar then. If everybody's going to give me crap for the sugar-free ones, I'm back on the sugar.
The point is to stop drinking the energy drinks. It's not drink sugar.
Oh, okay. I thought people wanted me to have more sugar.
Okay.
Anyways, no Petey, no... Alex, it's not no Petey, no problems down there in the ticker. It's no Petey, mo problems. No Petey, no problems.
You leave Alex alone. You talk about the whip being cracked. That's you. No. That's you with Alex. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just one small spelling mistake. Well, I'll pull up all your spelling mistakes.
It's a little different.
Pull up all your spelling mistakes in articles.
Yeah, I'll tell you about some never mind, I can't say that on the air. When I misspell right shot defenseman sometimes.
With an I instead of an O. Yeah. Which both of us missed.
Speaking of right shot defenseman, I found it pretty interesting that Ethan Bear was the extra defenseman today.
Yeah.
And by interesting, I mean, what the hell is going on? Why is Ethan Bear not one of the top 6 defensemen? And I don't want to read too much into it because they did do a lot of rotating today for the defenseman.
Also, keep in mind, Ethan Bear was out of a morning skate or a morning practice like a week ago, and he ended up playing in the next game.
No, I mean, the defense is so weird. Like, what you see at morning skate isn't what we saw at the game as well, which was kind of strange. And that was just the other night. So I don't want to read too much into this, but
it happened.
If Bear is the odd man out, what the hell is going on? That would be wild.
I don't want to spend too much time talking about it.
He should be playing. I'm sorry. He's one of the best. He's one of the top 2 defensemen on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to get any pushback on that from me. And we'll see what goes down at morning skate tomorrow, because obviously this was just a practice. And I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into this, I don't think, to be quite honest with you.
And everything changes if Pettersson's back as well. I think that's still the big story is, and Bruce, you talked about it. I had to run up here and actually do some work, but you were talking to Bruce about it. What was the latest update for Pettersson on sickness? Anyways?
Nothing. He's still sick. They don't have an update. Obviously, it's a bad sickness. This is the 6th day, I believe, that Petey's been away from the team. It ain't good, folks. Like, a lot of people are sick right now, and Petey is one of those people. And, that's big problems for the Canucks. And actually, the question I was telling you about earlier, where Bruce was basically just like, seriously, was when he was asked how badly this team's missing Elias Pettersson. He's like, yeah, we're missing Pettersson. Yeah, Bruce didn't really want to talk about that too much because, yeah, it's quite clear Elias Pettersson's impact on a game. Back-to-back 5-1 home losses. And Lachlan Irvin wrote this for Canucks Army. Canucks on pace for the worst home record in franchise history.
Yeah, that's not good either.
No, it's not.
And they've been bad at home. And not even just like the losses, like the actual record, but the losses are brutal. I can't get over the fact that 1/3 of their home games have finished with a 5-1 loss.
Not good.
That's horrible. But with Pettersson out, I want to bring this up. Okay, easy over there. You reading Cody's comments? I'm not reading any of them.
I'm reading a lot of comments.
Okay. JT Miller has to play center when Pettersson's out. Have you noticed, like, okay, JT Miller hasn't been like great lately. He hasn't scored in 10 games. He hasn't scored a goal in 10 games. He's not scored a goal at even strength in 19 games now. 19 games without scoring an even strength goal. This is the guy who you just signed to a 7-year extension. Making $56 million. I don't need the calculator like Frank Saravalli. $56 million is what he's making over the next 7 years after this season. And he hasn't scored an even strength goal in the last 19 games. Like, the impact that Pettersson has specifically at 5-on-5, where, listen, most of the game is played. 5/6 of the game is played at 5-on-5. Pettersson making such a big impact on this team. It's been really tough sledding to watch this team play without him. And listen, if he's not in there tomorrow, back-to-backs, it's going to be tough to believe that he's going to travel and play that game too. You might just have to, sit this guy out until the Christmas break and hope that he can get over the sickness, because whatever he's dealing with, man, it must be tough. Because it's just a sickness keeping him out of the lineup right now, which is really, and Bruce has talked about it, the players have talked about it. When Pettersson's not in this lineup, it is a much different looking team. And I think one of the big reasons is because JT Miller has to go play center. And right now he's got Mikheyev and Besser on his wing. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Well, I think we will see some changes to the lineup. Maybe this is the day where you just give Pettersson the last day off. I'm curious about this. Okay. You're a professional athlete at the NHL level. How different do you think they're dealing with, like a sickness or like a cold that he's dealing with, or whatever it is, right? It's like, sniffles, coffee. I'm sure it's something like that. The one that's going around with everyone. How different do you think it is having like a full medical team, doctors available? How quick do you think you can get over a sickness if you're a player compared to just like the average Joe? I feel like it's such different treatment, but I'm never going to live that life, because I'm never going to have millions of dollars to be able to afford that or be a professional athlete. I just bet it must be wild watching like a recovery from a cold for a professional athlete.
I genuinely don't have an answer. Like, I'm wondering if at least Pettersson's walking in, picking up some Vicks Vapo Rub.
See, like, yeah, it fit like
some Neocitrin.
You get the 4-pack of Fisherman's Friend. That's what I do. And then I get some of the Tylenol cold and flus. And then I got these. This is why I keep this on the go here, ready to go. This used to be the thing that held up the camera, actually, the old Dayquil sponsorship. Bring us the Dayquil sponsorship. Keep the show keep the train on the tracks.
So to answer your question, I don't know, but it's an interesting question to ask people.
I bet they got some cool. That'll be the first question we ask them tomorrow in practice.
Canucks.
Tell us what it's like recovering from a cold as a professional athlete. Let's get on to some hockey.
Yeah, let's do it.
Abbotsford Fun Rink. The fun park, I think, is coming back.
Yes,
they
will rebuild.
At first, it was like Abbotsford Fun Park not coming back.
Castle Fun Park
not coming back. Now, I think they're back on track. They're rebuilding. Something the Vancouver Canucks might want to take some advice from Castle Fun Park. But let's get to the game last night. Another 6-2, huge win for the Abbotsford Canucks. Like I said off the top of the show, having a lot of fun watching this team right now. Obviously, Niels Höglander is down there. He made his debut in the AHL. Vasily Podkolzin playing first-line minutes. Jack Rathbone, little update. He is battling another injury, which is really unfortunate. Someone had a really good reply to a tweet of mine last night where they said, it sucks. Jack's always healthy in the NHL and getting scratched. And then as soon as he goes to the AHL, he gets injured. So it's Jack Rathbone battling a little bit of an injury, but I heard he skated yesterday too. So I don't think it's long-term for Rathbone. Maybe he gets the Christmas break here. This is their final game before they have like 7 days off, I think, before some New Year's Eve games against the Manitoba Moose. But last night, watching Niels Höglander, let's start there. He was confident, physical, all the things you wanted to see. You got the Doglander graphic. You can pull that up, Alex. It was Doglander last night in the AHL, and he was confident. He had a bunch of shot attempts, 3 shots on net. And I guess I got to pull up the video, of course, because he did try his Zorro move. And I said it on the show yesterday. I said I wouldn't be surprised if he did it in the first 3 games. I was a little surprised that he pulled it off in the first, or didn't pull it off, but he tried it in the first game. We'll pull it up here. This is Niels Höglander from last night. You can pull it up, Alex. Pull my video up here. I'm going to play the Höglander clip real quick here. This from last night, Niels Höglander. And Linus Karlsson, I want to talk about him for a little bit too, but let's watch the Höglander thing real quick first. He tried it. He tried the one that he pulled at the World Juniors that set the World Juniors on fire. Can I say something about Linus Karlsson?
Of course.
He is way more, like, I think I've mentioned this a little bit, but now that he's got some time under his belt in the AHL, he is way more physical than I thought he was going to be. And like between the whistles, he's like roughing it up with guys, like getting in guys' faces. Linus Karlsson's been pretty impressive with certain parts of his game that I didn't think were there from watching him play in the SHL. And then the funny thing is, like, the things that he did do in the SHL, like be an incredible power play scorer and have a really good shot and have good playmaking, that part hasn't really translated to the AHL, but it's nice to see the other parts of his game have actually looked pretty good. So little AHL update there to chat about that. With
Travis
the Niels Höglander stuff.
Travis Dermott played his first game. Cody Sievertson wrote the Farmies report. It's up now on Canucks Army if you want to go read about that game. Cody did a really good job. He kind of honed in on the performance of, the players of interest is kind of how I put it.
Sure thing.
To Cody is he did Linus Karlsson, Niels Höglander, Vasily Podkolzin, and Travis Dermott. and Danilo Klimovic. Cody did kind of a recap on all of those guys. So you can go read that right now at CanucksArmy.com. Cody,
You know what
obviously a
was
member
fun?
of the chat.
I don't know if that's the same Cody, but we got the fun thing about Abbotsford was like top to bottom through the lineup, whoever was coming over the boards, whichever line was on the ice, there was something where you're like, okay, there might be an NHLer here, right? Like first line, you have Podkolzin. Second line, you had Lockwood, and don't know what his future is, but he's playing good hockey down in the AHL. Third line, you had Linus Karlsson and Niels Höglander. And then fourth line, you had Klimovic. So this is the first time that I can remember being excited about every line. Like normally when I'm watching an AHL game, you know, when the third line would go out there, I'm like, okay, I don't have to watch this really. Like they maybe will score a goal and John Stevens gets an assist and whatever, but not really a lot of NHL future sometimes when you're talking about those lines. But this is good. Like what's going on at the farm right now is a good situation with some future NHLers, and throughout the lineup, top to bottom, you're going to have a shift with a guy who could play NHL games for the Canucks in the next 3 to 4 years, which is good. That's what the farm's all about, man. Put the, you know, development's interesting with an organization like this, and I think the thing about Höglander and Podkolzin is their development was done overseas and at the NHL level, and that's hard to make a transition of your development from the SHL or the KHL, where listen, development is non-existent in the KHL. In the SHL, I think it's a little bit different. There was some serious development with Niels Höglander and his team Rögle, but they also had to develop again in North America with a different way of playing, not a different sport, but a different style of play for sure. And that type of development really benefits you if you are in the AHL, just to make that step, right? Like take the extra step and be able to develop in the league that's very similar to the way that it's played at the NHL level. Listen, the skill level is much lower in the AHL. That's clear. It's the minor leagues. But the systems, the coaching, the day-to-day stuff, that's very similar to what you're going to have to deal with at the NHL level. So this development was a little skipped. And don't get me wrong, when you come in as rookies and you have success like both Höglander and Podkolzin did as rookies, because let's not forget, as whatever you think of Niels Höglander, and I still see a lot of negativity out there about him, he had a really good rookie season and took a step back and is kind of taken another step back this season. We've had some good games for him. I thought the best game of his season was the Calgary Flames, the last game he played in. But the development stage of that as a 22-year-old, like they missed that time when they were 20, 21 to be able to get the confidence in North America, right? Like there's definitely some confidence that comes from how good their rookie seasons were. But it's, to me, that's not like, you know, it's almost, what's the big bad wolf blowing down the houses, right?
Three Little Pigs.
If you have a good rookie season, that's like building a house with sticks, right? It's good. You had a good start. You got a house. You're good to live in there.
That's called Three Little Pigs, right?
Yeah, I think so. So the first little pig, rookie season in the NHL is what I'm saying. Like you have a good season. That's great. But it's not like you're set up fully, right? Like a rookie season, that's why the sophomore slump comes. It's a big bad wolf. Comes by, blows your house down. If you get the right kind of development, I feel like setting kind of a better structure into your game when you're in North America is so important. And I actually do think that a lot of that can come in the NCAA. I think the NCAA actually does a really good job of that. And players come out of there, they're 22 years old before they go to pro. And a lot of NCAA guys, unless they're real top tier first round, second round picks, a lot of them end up going, you know, or Hobie Baker candidates, they end up going to the AHL to start. And I think that's a good thing as well. Like that's the different type of development than you see from these players. And Podkolzin and Höglander were both going to make the NHL team in their rookie season. That was, you know, pretty clear for Podkolzin, and for Höglander, I think it was a little bit of surprise, but he played so well that you wanted to build from there. But they didn't have that strong structure, that brick house that you kind of need from developing your game in North America. This is it's not too late, right? Like this is a good time to develop them and give them that confidence. I hope that they're down there for a while. Like I really do, because I really like Niels Höglander. And the other thing about Höglander, he's back wearing number 36. I hope he comes back to the NHL and switches back to 36. That 21, I don't know what's going on with that 21.
I think we both know what's going on with it. It's cursed. It's cursed. You can't wear 21 on this team. And hey, he looks good. He looks good in the 36. I'd like to see him wearing it. I got something on Abbotsford. Are you done? Or you got more?
No, I got more, but I know you got some inside scoops too, you're saying.
That's right. Archer Seelov's beat reporter. I went, did a little digging.
What was your favorite save from yesterday's game of Seelov's?
Oh, the third one, I'd say. Okay, so
I almost clipped one, but it actually ended up hitting the post.
ah,
There was a really good-looking save, and it sent the play-by-play voice, our friend Brandon Assel, it sent him into a frenzy, but it turned out it's just hit the post.
okay. Anyways, Canucks using this farm team just down the road, the Highway 1, to their advantage because Colin Delia sent back down. He's going to play tonight, is my understanding. He's going to play tonight in Abbotsford. And I know this will be a little outdated if you're listening to this days in advance, podcast listeners. But Colin Delia, he's going to get the start tonight in Abbotsford, as far as I know. Archer Seelovs was the backup at practice today. I expect that Delia will get recalled on Thursday and that he will back up Spencer Martin against Seattle. Might get the start on Friday night against Edmonton. Bruce kind of hinted at it. Bruce was kind of saying like, it'd be nice type thing, but he said like anything can happen. I think as far like my understanding is that's the plan. Like I think Colin Delia is going to get the start in Edmonton, but and Bruce said the word too. He said, if Martin goes out and gets a shutout and only faces 18 shots, he's probably going to play the next game. Like anything can happen, things can change. Right now, though, it does seem that Colin Delia will get recalled tomorrow, serve as the backup, and that he will travel with the team and get the start in Edmonton on Friday night.
I don't like it.
Well, why don't you like it? What are you talking about?
Give me Seelovs against the Kraken tomorrow night.
What about Spencer Martin?
And then he goes Friday against the Oilers. I don't think you want to throw anybody. You're going to lose. You put the backup against the Oilers.
I think you want Delia in net. Like Delia deserves some NHL time. He deserves a start.
Sure. Yeah, I mean he probably does, but
Spencer Martin's still, or not Spencer Martin, excuse me. Thatcher Demko's still not coming back. Mm-hmm. Like Demko's not close.
No, but I mean throw the bone to Seelovs a little bit.
Why? Get him at AHL.
Clark spent 45 minutes today with him.
Great. So let him go apply those in the AHL. There's no need to Mikey DiPietro.
Yeah, he played last night.
No, yeah, you don't need to.
I thought the plan for Delia was. That's why I was a little interested to hear that he's going to start tonight in Abbotsford because I thought the plan was for him to return on Friday. So I was a little surprised to hear that I thought it was going to be two ATOs down in Abbotsford.
Well,
tonight.
I think he the organization. Obviously, Seelov's getting to work with Ian Clark. That's great, but Delia probably wants to get a start with less of a microscope on him down the AHL before he's asked to go on Friday, right? Okay. Like the guy hasn't played in a long time. He came in relief. I don't know how long ago that was, but he hasn't played. Like he's just getting some game reps, right? He's been off for a day or two. He's just getting a chance to, warm up a little bit, and then he'll be more ready to go for Friday night. That's all it is.
Yeah, it does. Dan's got a good point. The Canucks are going to lose against the Oilers. You can't put the blame on the backup. Yeah, I don't know if a goaltender is going to make that much of a difference this one, unless you have one of those nights where Spencer Martin just rips it up. So that's interesting.
Delia.
Well, let's say maybe Spencer Martin gets a start. We'll see.
He might. Okay.
Before we get out, I know you mentioned Travis Dermott. I think it was just good for him to finish a game, right? Like come in there and finish a game. We obviously saw what happened with Michael Furlan a couple years ago in the AHL where he couldn't finish any games. Dermott came back, didn't look like he was that out of place. I think there was some sloppiness to his game. There was also some flashes where you're like, yeah, he's an NHLer, moves puck like an NHLer, skates like an NHLer. So I thought it was good to see Dermott play a full game. Good for him to move the puck around a little bit. Overall, just a strong return. I don't think he was like excellent. They put him in kind of like a third pairing role as well. But he played the full game. He got a lot of minutes. He was killing penalties, blocking shots, doing everything you kind of wanted to see. So good for Dermott to get back in the lineup there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, you kind of hope that he's ready to go after the Christmas break. Like, I don't know how many more games the guy's going to take in the AHL. Obviously you want to slow play it, but when you look at the state of this team's third pair, right? Like we just talked about Riley Stillman and Kyle Burrows is the third pairing. Like Travis Dermott's the guy. Travis Dermott's the bona fide, third pairing guy, right? That's who you want to see in this lineup. So again, hopefully he's able to come back soon.
Yeah, I think so. So it was promising that he played a full game. I mean, it was a game time decision. It was supposed to be Jet Wu in the lineup actually, but they decided to go with Dermott instead. So I'm expecting him to probably have the night off tonight for Travis Dermott. They got back to back, right? Abbotsford's back into it against San Jose tonight, and I just tell you, it was a good feeling on Twitter. Like last night, just I've seen Cody tweet out a bunch of highlights. I'm tweeting out highlights. Everybody's talking about Abbotsford. We're all having a good time. It was fun. I had a good night last night covering the Canucks. Didn't happen to be the Vancouver Canucks, but it was a lot of fun to have something good to talk about in this organization. And tell you what, ride the Abbotsford wave, man. And you got to give a little bit of credit here to Jeremy Colleton, right? The head coach out there in Abbotsford. You're out of it, eh? Who you texting?
Oh no, I'm not texting. I'm pulling up my next thing.
Okay.
No, you're right. Like Jeremy Colleton, continue. I don't know why you stopped talking.
Okay. Just keep. I see you on the camera there.
You're a little emotional lately, hey?
Lately.
Yeah, little travel troubles. So you're.
Well, yeah. Sorry, my fiance is stuck halfway across the country.
Well, not those travel troubles.
Oh.
You can be emotional about that, but that I tell you what, you were texting me. I felt really bad for you. You were rattled when you were like, "Man, I just woke up at 3 a.m. and now I'm waiting 2 hours for my bag." Like you didn't get home. And sorry, not to diverge from your Abbotsford talk, but I felt really bad for you. I was waiting for you in the subway, and you were like, "I think I can make it. I think I can make it." You weren't making it. No. And then sure enough, it was even later than we thought. That's a tough travel.
And then
day.
I get in a freaking Tesla Uber. I can't open the damn door. I can't get in the thing. The guy has to reach back and open the hand. I don't know how to open these stupid Tesla doors. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. I get in the Uber, drives me here, drops me off at a different location. And listen, I just worn out and tired. I didn't feel like arguing or talking to this guy. So I just got out of the car. I couldn't get out of the damn Tesla either because I don't understand the doors inside. I can't get into the car. I can't get out of the car. I have to walk down the road here to my house, and after all day long, and then I take a nap, and I wake up to 15 phone calls. Then I go to the hockey game. The Canucks lose 5-1. So yeah, I had a pretty crappy day the other day.
You did.
So
I felt for you.
So I was happy yesterday. Like I said, a good time watching the Abbotsford Canucks. I'm in a good mood after that.
You're just not up for any Abbotsford disrespect, and that's what you thought I was giving.
I'm also very tired. Like I said, the nosebleed last night, it kept me up to like 4. I had a radio hit this morning at 8.
Yeah, that's bad.
I feel like, I am a little emotional. I think you're right.
Yeah. I didn't mean it as like a diss. I meant like you're exhausted. You know when kids fall asleep in the car and they wake up and they're all cranky?
Okay, watch it.
All right. Okay, you done in Abbotsford? Because I got a lot.
No,
here.
Jeremy Colleton. I was trying to say before you start talking about
you interrupted yourself.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna have I hope I sleep well tonight. Listen, we questioned it at the start of the year. Say, hey, listen, why is Danila Klimovich getting scratched? Why are all these things happening? Why is Jet Wu not getting an opportunity? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? They're on a really good track right now, and I think a lot of that is to do with what Jeremy Colleton is doing with this team. And it starts with Klimovich for me, because the biggest thing that Jeremy Colleton can do for a big dub, a big win for the organization in the spot that he's in, the biggest win he can give to the Vancouver Canucks organization currently with this team is to develop the young players. He's now has an opportunity to work with Vasily Podkolzin, work with Niels Hoglander. He's been working with Danila Klimovich, who, man, something's clicked for Klimovich ever since Podkolzin came. I know he didn't put up a point yesterday, but I was talking to IMAC today about this, about Klimovich. Very similar type of player to Jonathan Lecaire-Mackey, where they're a floater, right? It's called the bumper position in the power play.
Yep.
That's where Klimovich and Lecaire-Mackey floated. They always floated around that bumper position when it was at 5-on-5. They weren't chasing pucks. They weren't creating things for themselves. But now, Klimovich is, and it's really nice to see, because like when he goes in on the boards hard and he uses his body, he's got such a long reach. He also has pretty good like quick decision playmaking, and a lot of that is, it seems like it's kind of just like boom or bust passes a lot of the time. Like sometimes it's a pass to nobody, but sometimes it's like a through the crease pass right onto the tape of someone. So with Klimovich, like his development there's something happening with the development right now of Klimovich that's working. And this isn't the final destination of the train track. We're not going to see Klimovich get called up this year. He's not going to be the guy to come and help the power play in 2 weeks. He's not that. He's going to take a long time still. But we're at like a new stage of the development where I talked about that earlier. You don't want this to be, the house made of wood that gets blown down. You want this to be the structure. This is the structure. The bricks are being laid right now for Danila Klimovich to keep doing what he's doing now and continue to add, and then get back to being more creative, get back to being more confident, work on, handling the puck a little bit better. But right now, like defensively, he's getting back, he's skating hard, he's doing things, he's being physical, he's on the forecheck, he's not just floating. It felt like for a long time, Klimovich just like, he thought that his role on the ice was to shoot the puck into the back of the net, when what he actually needed to do was go out there and play hockey. He needed to go out there and play hockey. He wasn't just a shooter. He's a hockey player. And now he's on the forecheck. He's going out and creating things for himself. I'm not saying he's completely turned the corner. There's still obviously a lot of blemishes in his game, but really, really like what you're seeing with actual development happening on the AHL team. And in the years that I've covered this organization, this is probably the first time I can say that.
Yeah.
Aside from Thatcher Demko, and that's it.
And this isn't a shot.
I can't think of another AHL player that's come through.
This isn't a shot at Trent Call or anybody else that we've talked to in the organization. But Jeremy Colleton, when he was on our show about 2 weeks ago, he was very candid. Like, he wasn't keeping his cards close to his chest or anything. He was talking, very openly. Like, we asked him, like, hey, how do you develop Danila Klimovich? And he said, yeah, it's a challenge. Like, it's not going to be easy, and we have to do this, this, and this. And like, hey, all of his answers were good answers. Like, it wasn't like he tried to dodge anything or, try to pretend like what we were saying wasn't fair or anything like that. Like, you basically brought it up like, hey, it's probably not okay that he swings his stick at a guy when he gets body checked with a clean hit, right? And Colleton was like, yeah, no, it's not okay, and that type of thing. Like, Colleton had a lot to say. And again, if you haven't listened to it already, great interview. It's on the Canucks Army YouTube channel. And folks, if you haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to that. Jeremy Colleton was our guest on that episode, and it's great. Hey, let's give a quick shout out real quick. All of our guests brought to you by Atlas Goods. We haven't had a guest this week.
Well, we have one later this week.
Yeah, I know, but one. So I want to give a quick shout out.
And you're not even here for her.
That's right. Yeah. Who is it?
Alexa Potak's going to join us and chat about Sweden. She's actually heading to Sweden on Monday.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So she's off to Sweden on Monday, but she covers does a great job covering Swedish prospects, and
yeah, she's awesome.
She's a Frölunda fan.
Yeah.
So guess what we get to talk about with her on Friday? Louis Eriksson, baby. Louis Eriksson and Frölunda, but obviously Philip Johansson as well.
I'm going to miss
what
that.
she thinks about him.
Yeah, I've DM'd Alexa a lot she sends me clips if I ask her for Lekaramaki clips, because you're so slow on them.
Yeah, no, she's quick. I'll tell you.
She is quick.
Listen, I'm much faster than Cody at the AHL stuff, but Alexa, she pushes me when I know when she's watching the game, because her clip normally beats mine, and I'm pretty quick with mine. I feel like I am, but yeah, she's going to join Harm and I on Friday.
Okay, quickly, I'll get this in. Atlas Goods, go over there. atlasgds.com. Promo code CC15 gets you 15% off your first order of pop rinds, the best fresh pork rinds, straight from your microwave or air fryer. They're fantastic. Locally owned and operated. Atlas Goods.
Oh,
look at Alex. Alex didn't even know. Alex didn't even know I was going to do an Atlas Goods read on this episode, and he's already got it up. Look at those pork rinds for those on the live show.
And hey, listen, I like the Atlas. I love the folks over there at Atlas Goods. The promo that just popped up. Maybe refresh the page, Alex. It was a 10% promo right off the top. Our promo beats that.
Also, I just got it mixed up. Yeah. Atlas Goods is our poll question sponsor.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I just gave him a read. Like, all of our guests are brought to them.
Subscribe and save.
No.
Subscribe and then use our promo code.
Okay. Atlas Goods, all of our poll questions brought to you by that. This is all of a sudden a little ad break. You could throw in the ad break.
Put it up there.
Well, I was going to say, Zephyr Epic, they're our sponsor of all guests. I don't know where my head's at right now. Apologies to both of these lovely sponsors of ours. But Zephyr Epic is where you're going to find all of our guests. Sponsors.
These two really go together, though. They really do go together.
They do. We should talk and see if Zephyr Epic's willing to get an Atlas Goods trading card line going. But Zephyr Epic, promo code there is hockey season, capital H, capital S, all one word. That gets you $5 off your order at zephyrepic.com. They've also got the retail location in Surrey, and they do free shipping on any order over $50. All of our guests here at the Canucks Conversation brought to you by the great folks at Zephyr Epic.
I'll be out there soon too. I'm going out to Zephyr and some other stuff from the people above you at the company. I've been going behind your back again, so I got some stuff to do out with the sponsors.
You know what's really funny is when you like text me something and it's like a problem, and I'm like, go to someone else. I'm like, go to someone higher than me. This is my problem.
Yeah. That's what you just
I encourage you to go around.
Alien Pete says, sign Tristan Nielsen. Hell yeah, dude. I'm all Tristan Nielsen. I love that. He's a dog. He's a dog on a bone. And he skates hard. I hope he continues to play well with the Canucks, and I hope that that some other team doesn't see that and wants to give him a shot. I like him. I like he skates really hard.
Daniel,
good local kid too.
Daniel Brosseau, sorry if I butchered your last name, jumped in the live chat
Brosseau.
on YouTube. I had someone ask, how do I participate in the chat? Live on the Nation Network YouTube channel. There's the articles on CanucksArmy.com where you can find the link that you need. But Daniel jumped in the chat and said, got an order from Zephyr showing up tomorrow. Good little deal on the extended series hobby boxes right now.
Yeah, you know what? Zephyr Epic had a post on their Twitter account. They were like up to 40% off or something. Then I go on the website to look at it, and then it's like 50% off. Dan, you can let me know if I'm right. I think it was 50% off. So they're selling themselves short over there at Zephyr Epic.
Well, we are definitely not. So go check out ZephyrEpic.com. ZEPHYR Epic, all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, what have you. Okay, I really wanted to get this in because this is basically the sole reason I came to Morning Skate today. I'm working on a story. I'm working on a story right now about this because I noticed like it was all over the Canucks social channels. I don't know if we have a video or pictures of this or whatever. But the Canucks getting back in the community. As you see on the live show there, JT Miller heading to Canuck Place with Tyler Myers. I talked to JT and I talked to Tyler Myers about their visit. And you know what really kind of shocked me? And, this is for a number of reasons, but that was Tyler Myers' first chance to get out there since he signed in Vancouver.
Wow.
Which is hard to believe, but, pandemic, even this year, like schedule and stuff. And then you can see in the photos, like they were wearing masks. They usually are wearing masks, but it's something to think about that. Yeah, there's this, sickness going around the locker room. So of course they're wearing masks, but those two get out there for a visit. Good on them. I love to see this type of stuff. And I think it needs all the attention in the world for all of the, the criticisms, especially of Myers and Miller that everybody does, good on those two for getting out there and spending some time with some kids over at Canuck Place. And, JT told me him and his boy Tyler, not Myers. Tyler was the name of the kid that we saw him building a gingerbread house with. They built some nice gingerbread houses, and look at that one with Tyler Myers. And I didn't get the name of that kid from Tyler Myers, but they said it was a very rewarding experience. And, all the players, there was Sheldon Dries and Spencer Martin went out to Ronald McDonald House as well. We don't have photos of that, but those two went out there, and hey, like that's two guys who, those are Abbotsford Canucks, really, right? And, Spencer Martin's now the backup, but he's being thrust into the starter's role. Good on him for going out there. Like these guys don't have to do that, right? There's nothing in their contract that says, hey, you got to go give back to the community. You got to go spend some time out there. That's just something these players are choosing to do. And, I'm not trying to criticize anybody here, but like I grew up in the era where this was the most normal thing in the world to see. The Sedins visiting the BC Children's Hospital every week, it felt like, right? And, all the stuff we didn't even hear about, especially with the Sedins, but all the players had their thing. BX kind of talked about this when he came and spoke during his jersey retirement and everything. And look, like you haven't seen a ton of it from this current group of players. And again, a lot of that is due to the pandemic. I'm not trying to criticize anybody here. I'm just saying that, we're so used to seeing it with the past, cores and teams and everything. It's awesome to see this team do the same thing, right? Even with all the problems on the ice. And it was nice. I had a nice conversation with JT and Tyler about this. And, JT kind of said, like, it kind of puts everything in perspective, like getting away from the rink, getting away from everything going on with this team right now, and just being able to go put a smile on those kids' faces, right? And, how much it means to these guys. It's awesome. Awesome to see. I wanted to make sure we talked about this and make sure we mentioned it on the show because I think it's great. I think it's great that these guys are doing this. I don't want to ramble on too long, but I just wanted to give it the attention it deserves.
No, absolutely, man. Good stuff.
And Tanner Pearson went out too. I
got the Abbotsford
Canuck
one
Place.
I want to pull up too.
Yeah. Didn't go to Canuck Place, but I just wanted to make sure I got that in. Tanner Pearson also went for the visit as well. And then it was Dakota Joshua and I believe Jack Studnicka who went out to Edmonds Community School. Shout out Burnaby.
Dressed
not
up
North
as Christmas. They were the Christmas theme, right? Was that from seeing the kids? I seen a picture of.
No, so that is
dressed up as elves.
That was the family skate yesterday. We don't have photos of that, I don't think. But that was the family skate yesterday. All the rookies dress up as in the elf costume, and then one in the Santa costume. I believe it was Studnicka and Oman were the elves.
Yep.
I know Oman was because I talked to Oman about having to dress up like an elf today. And the Santa Claus, I believe, was Dakota Joshua. I think
you got that right.
Yeah. Okay, you
pull
have something
this
on
one up,
Abbotsford.
Alex. Yeah, just Abbotsford, same thing. Good, pull it up, Alex. Full screen me. Good week. Last week, this was a couple weeks ago, actually, where Will Lockwood, Jack Rathbone, Linus Carlson, and Michael Ragouche, who's local, by the way. And they like him out there in Abbotsford, this Ragouche. Yeah, he's killing penalties. They like him out there in Abbotsford. So shout out to them. They were doing the same thing on Abbotsford. I was in the children's hospital. Do you know that when I was a kid?
I was too. Why were you there?
Well, it's kind of funny, actually. And I remember meeting Trent Klatt. It was 1999, like January or February 1999.
Okay.
Trent Klatt was one who came in and visited. I was in there, believe it or not, in the children's hospital for chickenpox.
Really?
Yes. I had like a horrible case of chickenpox where it was like it went inside of my eardrum and like could have got into my brain, and that would have like really screwed up if chickenpox would have done something like that. So I was in a children's hospital for chickenpox when I was like really young, like 6 years old maybe.
That's horrible. I was in there for asthma. I had a really bad asthma attack.
Wow. So we had some pretty weak things to go in there. Asthma,
immune systems.
Yeah, asthma and chickenpox.
This is what happens when you eat like we do.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what,
Kevin McAllister.
Thank goodness I get to go. I'm going grocery shopping after this. So I'm not going to be able, I've had a lot of mac and cheese for the last couple days here. I'm out of corn dogs too. So because we cleaned out the fridge before we left to Saskatoon. Yeah. We're like, hey, good time. We're not going to be here for a few days. Let's clean out everything from the fridge. All the food that's like 50-50, like, is it good to eat right now? Is it not good to eat that you normally just leave in the fridge? We got rid of all of it. The fridge is so clean and nice right now.
It sucks.
Oh, but I got no food at the damn, I got to go eat something. I'm going to go, they got this huge Chinese supermarket down there in Richmond too. I'm going to that. They got my snacks down there. I think it's called China Supermarket or like China Supermart. It's a huge area. People in Richmond will know.
Huh.
It's good stuff. I'm going down there.
All right.
Have a good time there. All right.
Betway.
No, prospects report quickly.
Oh, good. I can still check out.
I only
what kind
played
of stuff they got. Do they got like ducks hanging in a window or anything like that? Or?
Yeah. Well, it smells in there. They got a huge fish market in the corner, but it's just like one big open area. So it smells up the whole place. Pretty good,
when you walk
fish though.
You know when you walk to that side of Save On Foods, like it's the fish smell. I don't like the smell of fish.
No, I know. But Alex, they have all like the snack, like they have like Pepsis and like all the chips and there's 2 rows of ramen in there, like 2 full aisles of ramen. But they have like all these Pepsis, like Pepsi Peach and all these like kind of interesting flavors. So I'm excited to get out there.
You're graduating from mac and cheese to ramen and Pepsi.
Honestly, man, let's just get to the damn prospect report and get out of here.
I can see Quads drinking Pepsi Peach. I think he could be a Pepsi Peach guy.
No, he doesn't. We did a pop challenge where we had like Quads was going to rank 15 pops, and he had a bottle cap sip of each one.
Yeah, and then I didn't like it.
And you didn't like any of the pop. It was the worst Patreon video we ever did.
And we're doing a Patreon soon. We're gonna do one
hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, if the morning.
So hard to find time. Anyways, patreon.com/Canucks.
All right, prospects are probably not much to say. I watched the first. Thanks. Yeah, we'll do it better. If we do a pop challenge, I'll drink a bottle of each pop, and then I'll tell you how it tastes.
I won't let you do that.
12 liters of it. Okay, from our prospects report, Alex, get that. We got the Sweden and USA played today. I only watched the first period. I'll check back on the second and third. I did see Cam Robinson tweeting about it. We should probably have Cam on the show pretty soon. I think he's on. He should be available. We'll talk to Cam. He'll come on the show here soon. But wasn't a great performance from Lekaramäki to start. He had a pretty bad giveaway early on in this one. Actually, I got the clip. I might as well pull it up. So Lekaramäki, he's playing third line for Sweden in this game. And Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, DPD, he was playing on the fourth pairing. Let's blow this up. Okay, there's their clip right here. So a bad giveaway from Lekaramäki. And then Luke Hughes, younger brother of Quinn Hughes, he's so fast. He comes in and scores a goal. But the giveaway is the tough thing to watch. That's from Canucks prospect Jonathan Lekaramäki. He skates across the ice here, just tries to do a little bit too much there. Bad giveaway on a deke, and USA comes back and scores. I actually liked Pettersson in the first period. I thought he was good, and he made some good plays. He also made one big mistake, but they didn't get scored on from that mistake, so that's why we're highlighting the Lekaramäki one. But Pettersson had like a big hit, couple good shots. It'll be interesting to see where he fits on that defense core for Sweden moving forward. And Aku Koskinen quads. He played the first game for Finland in their pre-tournament play against USA. They lost 5-2, so he got lit up pretty hard. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Koskinen. I think he's going to be the backup. I think he's going to be the second string guy behind Jani Lampinen, who I think is going to be the guy who's going to be starting for Finland. He went undrafted, actually, so keep an eye out. Ian Clark probably keeping an eye on this Lampinen kid. And they also have Nicholas Kakko, whatever. Nicholas Kakko. It doesn't matter. He's a third string guy. He's Seattle Kraken's second round pick, high pedigree kid. But I don't think he's gonna. I think everyone's kind of talking about him being third string. So good for Koskinen to at least be the backup. And if he goes on a roll, maybe
might be the starter.
Yeah, you think he's a starter? I don't think
it's not decided yet. It's not decided.
No, it's not. But I think Lampinen's gonna
finish
get
source.
This next game here.
Finish source told me that it's not decided yet, and it might be Koskinen.
Well, that's what my Finnish source said too.
Mm-hmm. Love those Finnish sources.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's your favorite Finnish source?
Huh?
Favorite Finnish source?
I'm not saying. You never reveal your sources.
There's a sauce in Finland. I forget what it's called, but it is hard-boiled eggs and mayonnaise, and then you mash it all together and add some salt if you want. And that's like a famous source over there in Finland.
I wonder if
it's just hard-boiled eggs.
I wonder if Jaakko's watching.
Yeah,
this.
if Jaakko's here, she'll let us know. I saw a video.
Jaakko will tell us later.
Yeah, maybe he goes back and watches this. Lets us know.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Hard-boiled eggs. You crush them up. You put a little mayonnaise in there, and salt is optional. And I forget what it's called.
All right, Betway. Let's go.
Betway. Betway. I almost forgot. Betway. Pull it up. Betway. Now you can do it, Alex. He's gonna pull up a prospect report now. Betway. We got our 2 bets today. We're rocking with the Vegas Golden Knights against the Arizona Coyotes. Been betting against the Coyotes a lot lately. Ever since they screwed me, you know what? Never mind. Not going to talk about it. A couple of weeks ago, they screwed me over on a weekend bet. But Karlsson, they got him over for the shots today, 1.5. Over 1.5 for Karlsson. He hasn't had a lot of shots his last 5 games. I think just 3 shots over his last 5. He went 4 games like without a shot. But he's consistently at about 2 shots per game. And I think against the Coyotes, you're rocking with that. Minus 182. It's not a ton of return here, but $10 will get you $15.50. And then Vegas Golden Knights to win in regulation and over on total goals being 5.5. Rocking with Vegas tonight. $25 return on a $10 bet there for that one. So they got to win in regulation and over 5.5 total goals between the team. Next 2 days, we'll have some Canucks bets, which I enjoy doing more than these because do I really know what I'm talking about here? Yes.
Absolutely. 19 plus over on Betway.
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll wrap it up. Tomorrow's going to be interesting.
I do research. How many Coyotes games have I watched this year?
You said do. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. The Canucks morning skate's going to be interesting tomorrow. See if Ethan Bear's there. We'll have that and much more tomorrow. For my co-host, Chris Faber, and our technical producer, Alex Allard, my name is Dave Quadrelli. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of The Canucks Conversation.
Do.
Thanks for listening to Canucks Conversation, delivered by DoorDash. Hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.
How about keep it to a thank you